What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at SOFI today. This thing's been absolutely ripping to the upside. Not surprised. SOFI, when that thing gets going, it has some very aggressive moves. As you can see, we're actually kind of forming a nice bull flag that we're finally breaking out of. We already formed it, and now we're breaking out of it. If we were to take it from here, we were trending sideways, and then if you take a measured move to up there, you can say maybe 2148 could be that target for this measured move here. Not only that, but we had a perfect textbook head and shoulders play out from this level here for the head. And then you can take it from, it depends on where you want to draw the shoulder, this shoulder here, but you can take it from there to there. So if a textbook head and shoulders playing out, it will be complete roughly at 1520, 1530. And once we hit that, that's when it's going to be completely finished. And your measured move from there, I know people are going to be excited. I don't want to bull hype you. I'm just giving you what the technicals are. You draw from the head to the neckline. I'm just giving you the textbook way. And if you were to measure that out, that takes you to about 25 bucks. So, like I said, I don't want to get anybody too excited, because if it doesn't happen, I don't want you coming from ahead. But that's how you measure out a head and shoulders. It will be complete, like I said, at 1520, 1530. But this is looking very good, very, very bullish. Like I said, you have a bull flag it's breaking out of it, broke out of it already, and you have an inverse head and shoulders pointing to the upside. Our next level of resistance is going to be this level here. We are currently range bound between this level, so I could see us just temporarily chopping before making a decision to break out and push up higher. And of course, we always have to talk about the downside, which would be the opposite, chopping until we break, retest, and push on down. I do think with the momentum and how SOFI tends to work, we're probably going to favor the upside, especially with the bull flag and inverse head and shoulders combined. I think the odds are to the upside, not financial advice. Don't make any trading decisions based off this information. This is just for entertainment purposes only. But we are looking very good. And we broke above these recent high wicks right here. So this is looking very good. And we're potentially going to get a weekly close above this wick, which is extremely bullish. When you take a look at the SMAs, we broke above our 20 after getting a bounce off the 50 and the 200. And here on the daily, we're just running away from our 20 now. It's looking awesome. We got a bounce off the 20-day, and we're pushing up much higher very rapidly. We have a very bullish cross, the 20 crossing the 200 and the 50 crossing the 200. Price is just ready to absolutely skyrocket much higher. When you look at the RSI, we also had a V-shaped recovery, kind of an inverse head and shoulders going on. We're creating higher highs, higher lows, and we're just pushing up much higher. We're trying to get to the overbought territory, and we're holding above our yellow moving average, looking extremely bullish. Here on the daily, higher highs, higher lows. We kind of had a phase two of a move here. We had a initial trend line like that, and now we're having a steeper trend line. So we're having that first trend line going, and now we have a steep trend line established now for much higher targets. Here on the daily RSI, I would imagine that we're going to get some green filled areas relatively soon, which means we're going to be above 70 in my opinion pretty soon. And here on the weekly, we had our green flip after having the momentum completely dwindle down, which is what you love to see. You want to see this direction right there. You got the green flip, and you have the blue flipping above the orange here to push up much higher. So last time we had a flip here on the weekly with the cross here, we were sitting at roughly $6, and you can see what happened after the fact. You can see that we absolutely ripped much higher after getting that flip here. It was in this area about here. That was the last time we got a red to green flip with the blue crossing above the orange. I would expect higher prices for sure, not financial advice. On the daily MACD, we're looking good as well. Have a bull flag established, and it looks like we're trying to break this local high here at 0.539. We're currently sitting at about 0.4653. So I would imagine we're going to break that relatively soon as this momentum continues to increase. It has been increasing at a steep pace, which is nice to see. I could see this thing continuously ramping up, and we see a nice move like that, a nice exponential curve, banana zone, if you will, and pushing SOFI much higher, which would be in confluence with this inverse head and shoulders, this bull flag. And like I said, we need to break above this zone here, get a retest, push up higher, and break these local highs here. Overall, it's looking extremely bullish though. And we're going to pull fib to see where we're at. On the larger time frame, you can see that we already pulled back to the 786, which is the second to the last line in the sand, and we got a sharp move off of that. And then if we were to bring it down to a smaller time frame here, you can see that if you pull it to this high here, stretch it out, you can pull it to this one first. You can see that off of this one, we pulled to the 382. If you pull it off to here, we pulled back to between the 236 and the 382. So both of those are extremely bullish moves. And it looks like we're just trying to create fresh highs. This thing looks like it's not ready to stop anytime soon. And if we were to pull in a bearish direction to see what kind of resistance we could be getting, we're pulling from this top wick here to this over here. I'll move it to the side. And we are currently at a key level right now. So we were currently at the 0.5 to 618, but it looks like we're potentially going to get a weekly close, which would be super bullish. This is the golden zone. So this wants to push price downward because this is in a bearish pull. So if we can get a close above the 618, which is a close at 1470 or higher, retest and push up higher, this thing is ready to go, and we're surpassing one of the strongest levels. As this goes up, it's going to be less bearish and more bullish in this sequence, because remember, the sequence is to the downside. So things are looking very good for SOFI at the moment. It's looking very exciting. If you are invested in SOFI, this is a great buy. Not financial advice, especially if you are a long-term investor, over the next 5, 10, 15 years. This should be a good addition to your portfolio. Like and subscribe, share with a friend if you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.